Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. Quiet and briefly comfortable with drier air and less humidity tonight into Wednesday, but then Wednesday night into Thursday, increasing moisture, fueling some locally heavy downpours and flash flooding concerns. Additional rain then Friday and Saturday. Through the 17th, with 2 weeks left of August, it is the third wettest August on record for Charleston, and we are only 0.14 inches away from first place. We could get there through Thursday night with a tenth to a quarter of an inch here. The darker greens is a general quarter to a half inch with locally higher amounts. Before the wet weather returns, we have high pressure building in from Kentucky, keeping things clearer, more comfortable and quiet overnight, allowing for temperatures to be a little on the cooler side heading into Wednesday morning. Areas of localized fog could set up. Then we'll gradually see the mugginess increase from the northwest ahead of that next round of showers and storms in the evening, overnight, and into Thursday with the locally heavy downpours. FlySair forecast, it starts at home. We will see more comfortable and quiet conditions if you're heading towards Chicago. Otherwise, plan for that summer heat in full force if you're going towards Charlotte or Atlanta. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, as mentioned, with the clear skies comes some areas of fog setting up, looking north for low 60s overnight, and these areas will be the first to see the evening round of showers and storms, otherwise highs in the 80-degree range, mid-50s to low 60s going east. Martinsburg 88 on Wednesday, 87 toward Petersburg. We'll see mid-50s to low 60s from Elkins toward Ripley, then 81 there, 85 Ripley, Snowshoe 74. From Lewisburg toward Huntington, mid-50s to mid-60s overnight, then low to upper 80s on Wednesday. We'll have frequent rounds of showers and storms into the weekend, starting to dry out Sunday afternoon.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Five, three,
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. The crew is all here. Kyle Wicks, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
I say this every night. We're inching closer to the start of the football season with classes starting today. We'll get into that a bit, but we will take a couple of diversions tonight. The next time we'll hear from Coach Rodriguez will be tomorrow night, which will have those comments for you. But the soccer season has started. So the Mountaineer women already have a victory in the books, and they host Penn State on Thursday. The Mountaineer men, they begin their season on Thursday. So head coach Dan Stratford will join us. Coming up on the Sportsline, we'll get a primer on their season and talk a little bit about that season opener coming up. Also tonight, there's been just so much human tragedy with these floods through the state of West Virginia, loss of property, damage, unfortunately loss of life in a couple of instances. And the latest round of flooding this weekend affected Bridgeport High School and their football field, their field house, some of their athletic facilities. And they spent the day trying to clean up after a big mess. So Coach Tyler Phares will join us, give us an update there, and we'll get a primer on the Bridgeport football season. Always a contender, obviously, in Class AAA. So Coach Phares will join us a little bit later on in the program as well. So a lot to do tonight. And again, classes started today. So, Greg, I guess it goes from preseason camp, which used to be a lot more arduous in terms of two-a-days and all of that. That's all gone by the boards, but you kind of shift the mentality and you shift the workout schedule from preseason camp to practicing later in the day as players adjust to classes.
Yeah, and now you get into your regular school year calendar, though, again, the workout load doesn't change that much in comparison to what you've just gone through. Again, I'll be the old guy, but I do remember. I mean, for one thing, the young players would stay in a hotel near the stadium because the dorms weren't open yet. And then you'd have a day or two right when classes started, move-in weekend, where all the young players and often their parents and whomever came in and moved them into their dorms, and that was a big deal. The veterans were typically still staying in their apartments or houses or whatever they had around campus. So now everybody really is sort of where they are, and you just sort of change the time of the practice during the day, and you go through some classes during the day and then hit the practice field.
Isn't this kind of a weird time? And I mean it from this standpoint. When you're us and your fans, you hit this stretch and you're like, just when is the game? Let's kick it off and let's play. Yet if you go over to the building, Greg, the coaches are sitting there going, are you kidding me? We got a game in 2 weeks. We need some more time. So the gap, I think, between hurry up and play this and, oh, no, we need some more time to get it ready, I don't think is ever greater than it is these next couple of weeks, because you haven't reached Coastal Carolina preview week yet, right? We get to the week of the game, then it's, all right, here we go. Now we're talking about Coastal Carolina and we're diving in. It's too early to really preview that, but there's not a whole lot of news coming out. You had your one scrimmage. Greg, you mentioned you got a couple days here where it's a little bit slower. There's probably not a whole lot of news that are coming this week or next week. It's just it always catches me this time of year how big the gap is between that. Let's play. Let's go.
So when do you start putting the game plan in? Is that game week? Is that Saturday or Monday before the first game?
I think it'll start next week. I don't think it starts today or for the rest of this week. I think it's still sort of, let's continue to work on us, but they'll slowly start to put in Coastal Carolina stuff. And Rich even talked about it earlier in camp that, that obviously they've gone over all the film and everything, and they've done a few little things with a focus towards that opener, but I don't think you really start game planning it. Going more than 2 weeks out is too much. And so that last week, obviously, but I think even a little bit next week, you start to get into it.
Even that's an interesting process now compared to where it used to be. Right now you have so many analysts on board that the bulk of those things the scout can be installed so much easier. But two, if you're the staff, you're still trying to figure out what you do well.
Yeah.
Right? You've got so many new moving parts here. You're still trying to figure out, all right, Mike Hawkins is under center. What are our 20 best plays? When it's Scotty Fox, what are our 20 best plays? So there's a lot of that's still going on right now.
Absolutely. And I've done a little bit of a look at Coastal Carolina. Brad, you probably have. I know you. They got a ton of questions themselves. So trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do.
Right.
Their quarterback situation is way up in the air. So you got to figure out what they do as well. So that's always the tough point in the opener, but especially in today's era when, at least half your roster for almost everyone, more so for West Virginia, is new.
Yeah, they got a new head coach and everything, so you're going to go back and look at Missouri State film, see what you can fill in. That's why I think it's really for Rich Rodriguez's roster this year with the 80 new guys, it's just get yourself ready. Right, that's the primary objective is get yourself ready, what you can do, what your best packages are offensively and defensively, and then you go let it fly against Coastal.
It's hard to believe. I mean, again, you've had this team open up against Power 4 competition a lot in recent years, and this year a different approach with Coastal Carolina, and to open up a chance to start 2. And again, nothing's a given, and they shoot me dead speculating, looking ahead. But still, the opportunity very much on the table to open 2-0 for the first time since 2018. That's hard to believe.
Has it been that long? Wow.
2018, the year, Will Greer's year, they beat Tennessee. and badly, right? And then beat Youngstown State.
Yeah, you said why, though. A lot of that's the schedule related. And by the way, you just threw out rat poison on Tuesday, August 18th.
Yeah, I know.
You went with it early. But that's
kind of what we do.
As we've been saying for how many years now, this is how you should start for all the reasons we just outlined right there, rather than having to open with not only a Power 4, but when it's been Penn State, good Lord, you're open with a top 10 team a lot of, on the road. How many times has West Virginia opened on the road? So you finally got it to where you need to be, where, again, you're right. Could you lose? Yeah, you could. It'd be a disastrous loss, obviously. But this is a chance where this is how you want to start the season.
Some news concerning
Great. Now I just made bulletin board material too, thanks to you leading us into that subject.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Thanks.
You've done it before.
How about the story of Cam Rice, Morgantown High graduate, began as a linebacker, right, Greg, at WVU before moving on West Liberty and then to Maryland.
Was a quarterback at WVU.
Exactly.
I mean, at
Morgantown High. You're right. He's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Moves to the interior.
/ linebacker. He did play both.
Yeah.
Finishes at Maryland, and now an opportunity is the Miami Dolphins signed him today to give him at least an opportunity to make their 53-man roster with one preseason game left.
And I'll throw this to you, but you've talked so often about there are good things about the transfer portal, right? The best transfer portal usage may be the example Cam Rice. Came here as a walk-on and then just kept working his way up the ladder till he gets to Maryland and now in the NFL.
It's exactly what we talk about, guys. He comes here, wasn't the right fit for him early on. He ends up going to West Liberty and becomes a dominant player at West Liberty. What do we always say?
Division II All-American.
Get yourself on the field. Harlan Hill Award finalist there. Get yourself on the field and play and make snaps. Then gets himself to Ohio U, continues to grind, continues to get better. And then he had a bunch of options coming out of there. Tennessee was one, Maryland was one. Felt like Maryland was the best fit. He rolls in there. Got honorable mention All Big 12 honors, if I'm not mistaken, at Maryland. Played really well and has had multiple opportunities here to take a shot at some NFL teams. And finally here he's getting hooked on with the Miami Dolphins and a chance to stick on that roster.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable story just in and of itself. We love to see these from West Virginia guys, but for those of us personally, he's raised by his grandmother, Lori Rice, who's the longtime administrative assistant for multiple head coaches, going all the way back to Coach Nealon. It is truly movie-esque what Cam Rice has been able to do and what Lori was able to help him do to put him in that position all the way through. It's a fantastic story. Should be made into a movie.
Still has to make the team. The signing today doesn't guarantee a roster spot, certainly, but he gets an opportunity, and there's another former Mountaineer lineman there at Miami trying to make the Dolphins as well. Fatorma Mulba on the roster as of now heading into the final preseason game. So, but again, an incredible story. Doesn't make major headlines, certainly in Miami, but it's a big deal here to see somebody like that go through what he's gone through and get an opportunity.
Incredible story. So wishing Cam the best, wishing Lori the best as well.
Yep.
304 Talk 304, that is the text line. Again, conversations to come with Dan Stratford, head Mountaineer men's soccer coach. They will travel tomorrow and open up the season on the road on Thursday, and we'll check in with Tyler Phares of Bridgeport High School as their football team dealing with a little bit of adversity, but nothing the folks there at Bridgeport, that community, and that athletic department and those athletes, those folks can't handle. But we'll talk about it coming up. 304 Talk 304, that's the text line. We'll take a break. We'll continue with this Tuesday edition of the Sportsline right after this.
Feeling under the weather but don't want to leave home? With WVU Medicine Virtual Urgent Care, you can connect with a provider in minutes, right from your phone, tablet, or computer. From cold and flu symptoms to minor injuries and more. Expert care is just a click away. No waiting room, no commute. Available when you need it most, including evenings and weekends. Skip the trip and feel better faster. Visit wvumedicine.org/virtualuc.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
When was the last time you checked your home's fire safety? From working smoke alarms and clear escape routes to safe heating in the winter, small checks make a big difference. The West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office has launched a quick, easy home safety survey to help you spot simple fixes around your house before emergency strikes. Take just 5 minutes today to keep your family safe. Visit firemarshal.wv.gov to complete your home safety survey. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season, the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart, only on Metro News Television.
Across West Virginia, connection begins with fast, reliable fiber internet. Connecting overlooked communities to what matters most. Protecting businesses with managed IT and advanced cybersecurity backed by local experts. Perfecting technology experiences while investing in West Virginia's future. CityNet, built and supported by West Virginians, for West Virginia.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorold.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
Sportsline for Tuesday, Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, and Brad Howe. Real quick correction. I think I said the Dolphins have one preseason game left. They have two, of course, against the Giants Saturday, August 22nd, and then they host Atlanta Friday the 28th. So Cam Rice and Mulda there trying to make that Dolphins roster with the two preseason games remaining. With us on the phone, the head soccer coach, WVU men's team, Dan Stratford, is with us. And, Coach, good evening. Thanks for your time once again. We appreciate it.
But so happy to be here. Yeah,
it's time. Brad was talking. He was pounding the table over here, wanting the football season to start. We can't wait. Your preseason's compressed. I mean, you don't have that luxury of waiting around. So it's a quick preseason, and here we go. You're opening the season this week. So where is your team right now? I know you've dealt with some pretty significant injuries in the preseason.
Yeah, it comes thick and fast. We normally get access to the guys about 17 days before we will play our first official game. So there's a lot to achieve in a really small amount of time. Attempted to play 3 preseason games, had one interrupted due to only in West Virginia a maple syrup truck accident when we were supposed to play West Virginia Tech last week. But we made the best of the 2 games we had. We had two great experiences, both Pittsburgh at home and then a trip to Georgetown heading into this previous weekend. But as you said, a little interrupted in terms of making a full assessment of the entire group, just with some injury issues and a few more than we'd like. But that's kind of the nature of the business, and we'll have to adapt and overcome and make sure the group is ready for Charlotte on Thursday night.
So loaded question, because I'm certain no coach has ever said, yes, I'm fully prepared when the season starts, but Are you guys ready? I mean, ready or not, I guess here it comes.
Yeah, ready or not, I think that question's always on a bit of a on a bit of a spectrum year after year. To your point, I don't think you ever feel fully prepared when you have as little time as we do. There's conscious decisions that are made, knowing that we just simply can't get to everything. And as intelligent as we think our groups generally are, they just don't have the capacity to take in all of the information that's necessary in a 17-day span. So there's always things that we'll continue to learn and continue to evolve, and we're pretty process oriented in the way we do things in general. So the structure of what the next 2.5 weeks will look like will really be a continuation of learning and that process and the progressions that we'll make, and that's really how we'll operate throughout the course of the season anyway. But with that said, like I said, the hindrance of a handful of injuries and some obviously important returning guys and players that we thought would play a big role, that their presence won't be felt for another year, just the severity of those injuries, and then just a few niggly issues that no pattern to it necessarily, just a little bit of dumb luck perhaps, and too many at once. So as I said, the depth of the squad is something that we feel like we've continued to strengthen, and certainly feel as though we have this year. So that'll be what we'll have to rely on going into the start of this season for sure.
Dan, let's talk about some of those guys. The external expectations are in line with where you keep them internally really high. Preseason pick to win the Sun Belt. Multiple guys on the first team all-conference. Another preseason offensive player of the year. You've become accustomed to that with our guy, friend of the show, Marcus Caldera, over the last couple of years. Tell us a little bit about the guys you do have on the field and what you're excited about with them.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an evolution of where we've been in previous years. I like the attacking depth we have. There's a lot of new faces incorporated into that group. I think our wide attacking positions are as dangerous and as deep as maybe we've ever had in my time with the program. So certainly really, really excited about that. Where inevitably there was going to be some change was just kind of along the back line. A lot of our graduating seniors last year happened to be defenders. So there's a number of new faces there, and that's a little bit where we're slightly depleted in terms of injury issues and some of the challenges that we've had going through preseason and prior to preseason with a couple of sadly ACL issues that we've had. So I think we'll threaten teams, and we'll have to maybe get a little creative with how we make sure we shore things up and have the defensive quality that we need in order to maintain the result. But I've no doubt we're going to score a lot of goals. Hopefully we don't concede too many. That's going to be the key.
Pablo Pozos picked as the preseason player of the year. Take a minute and discuss him a little bit and what he's evolved into at this point in his career. And kind of a two-part question. I know transfer-wise you brought in some guys that you really think can score. So filling in around Pablo, that's going to be an interesting point of this team this year.
Yeah, Pablo's a perfect example of a transfer coming in and kind of fulfilling our hopes and dreams in terms of what we thought the kind of upside or best case scenario was for what we felt Pablo could achieve with us. And it's always great when it works out that way. I think Pablo has been kind of as advertised. We anticipated his instincts in the penalty area, his knack for finding himself in the right position to get that finishing touch and that final touch to score the goals. We saw that in the recruiting process. We saw some levels of intelligence to that aspect of his game that is very, very difficult to find and actually very, very difficult to teach. There's an age-old debate in our sport of whether that is actually something that you can learn or just something that's just within you. Either way, Pablo has it in abundance, and we've been so pleased with what he was able to produce last year. And then it's more the growth from his leadership, his investment within the program, what he now understands to as far as what it means to play for West Virginia and that aspect of things, which is also why we gave him the captaincy this year. So really excited for him in this year, and even more excited that the 5-for-5 rules allow him an additional year of eligibility. So hopefully this won't be the last time we see him in a West Virginia jersey. And then, as you mentioned, some of the transfer portal additions that are kind of far-reaching. We have an NAIA transfer from West Virginia Tech, Julian Raquel, who has made a really strong impression on us in preseason, as well as a junior college transfer in Kanta Ishii. Both of which were double-digit goal scorers at their respective schools previous. So certainly hoping that they can fill a little bit of that void that inevitably there'll be with Marcus Caldera now going on to the pros, but also can provide the supply to Pablo so that he can have a fantastic year as well.
So, Coach, you start the regular season out on Thursday at Charlotte, and this looks like it's a program that's been regularly very, very good. NCAA tournament qualifier more years than not, so challenging right out of the gate, it looks like.
Yeah, I think it's the strongest non-conference schedule that we've seen in a long time. Maybe 2022 may rival it as things evolve. I think that's kind of the beauty of college soccer is there'll have been 60 to 70 teams that will have been coaches that would have been speaking to their teams in preseason talking about winning a national championship, and West Virginia is certainly one of those. But it wouldn't surprise me if Charlotte were as well. As you mentioned, 11 of the last 14 years they've made the NCAA tournament. That's a record that supersedes what we have been capable of it over that same period of time. So again, we're very aware that we're the team with the number beside us, and they're not, and that'll be something that they'll be extra motivated to do something about. And beyond that first non-conference fixture, it's a trip to UNCG, who made the Sweet 16 last year. It's a Denver team that have been to a Final Four. It's hosting Akron. We have an incredible non-conference schedule to start things off. So we'll be tested early, and we'll know a lot about the group in a short amount of time here.
You're tested early, but you get a lot of those at home after you go on the road here. 6 of the next 7 at home, and you've been on this show before and talked at great length about what the fans have meant to your program and your team and how that's turned into a great environment over there at Dick DeLess. So the floor is yours here, Coach Stratford, for another minute or so. What do you want fans to know and encourage them to come out and check out this September schedule?
Well, firstly, I hope they had a fantastic summer watching the World Cup, and all of the various chants they heard from the Scotland fans, from the Dutch fans, from the Norwegian fans. There is a West Virginia rendition just waiting to be written. They're more than welcome to get creative. Bring it to Dick DeLesk Monday night. Maybe even have a test run, I think, when the women play Penn State here soon. And again, we'll need them in their hundreds and thousands. They've been fantastic for us before. We've had a really good pattern of getting a big name, big brand school come to Morgantown early in September, winning that game, and then keeping those fans' attention for the remainder of the season, and just kind of building on the momentum and the fan base that we've had. It was so cool watching what Steve Sabins and the baseball team did last summer. And just reminding me of the kind of momentum and feeling we have with the group in 2023 on our way to the College Cup. And I'm super excited to try and replicate that here going into this season.
Before we let you go, we got to get an update from you. We had you on right after the World Cup ended, and we discussed in detail. You made a very good case as to why West Virginia, why you were in favor of the split season. You explained that very, very well. It's still not finalized yet, though, right? There's still another vote?
Things got pushed along again. So nothing like some last-minute scheduling for 2027 if and when this gets passed in October. But we're patiently waiting for the Division I Cabinet to kind of reconvene on this, I think, in October. Ultimately come to a decision. But the rumblings or the rumor mill is still pretty optimistic that this will be something that passes, and I think it'll be really, really cool to have a soccer season at the college level that aligns with the professional game, not just in Europe, but soon to be in the MLS as well, that kind of comes to its conclusion towards the beginning of summer. So we're optimistic, and it could be a very, very different season, shall we say, different calendar for us going into 2027, but one we'll welcome.
Yeah, that's next year. This year, you start the season on Thursday at Charlotte. And, Coach, we appreciate your time. Again, best of luck, and we'll talk again.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Coach Dan Stratford there, Mountaineer men's soccer team. Again, the opener Thursday at Charlotte. And, Brad, as you mentioned, there's a nice run of home games here after opening on the road. St. Bonaventure Monday of next week, UNGC Friday of next week, Akron Thursday, September 3rd, George Mason Monday, September 7th, Denver Friday, September 11th, Georgia State Thursday, September 17th, Duquesne September 22nd at home, and then the game of the year, Marshall down in Huntington on September 27th. But there's a really, really nice run of home games there. It should be great weather in August and September.
Yeah, and big stretch, as we talked about, the preseason favorite in the league, which is a very good league, Sunbelt for soccer. So looking forward to watching Strats and his team go at it, see if they can make a deep run again.
The Mountaineers pick number 1 in the Sunbelt, as you mentioned, 4 first-place votes. Marshall second with 3. UCF third with a first-place vote. Kentucky fourth with 2 first-place votes. So, yeah, that's balanced and competitive in the Sunbelt Conference. 304 Talk 304. We'll get to some texts. Also, still to come, a conversation with Bridgeport High School football coach Tyler Phares as the season opener for high school football next week. We'll have the one of the season opening games, the Metro News SSAC Kickoff Classic next Thursday, a week from Thursday, Cameron against Clay Battelle on Metro News TV. So we'll talk high school football when we return. 304 Talk 304. That is the text line to join us. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door. Now's the perfect time to connect. Local customer support you can trust. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. High-speed fiber internet is probably at your front door, and now's the time to connect. Your tax dollars helped expand broadband access across West Virginia, and CityNet makes it real. More rural communities in West Virginia can finally get the high-speed internet they deserve. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can trust. So whether you're streaming, working, gaming, or running your business, CityNet delivers the speed and reliability you need. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon this Thursday and Friday, raising money to support the incredible care provided by WVU Medicine Golisano Children's. From life-saving treatments to the little comforts that help make a child's stay a little easier. Your donation helps keep those programs going. Now, you can text the word WVU Kids to 34984 for a link to donate via credit or debit, PayPal, Apple Pay, or Venmo. It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon supporting WVU Medicine Golisano Children's this Thursday and Friday.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. Quiet and briefly comfortable with drier air and less humidity tonight into Wednesday, but then Wednesday night into Thursday, increasing moisture, fueling some locally heavy downpours and flash flooding concerns. Additional rain then Friday and Saturday. Through the 17th, with 2 weeks left of August, it is the third wettest August on record for Charleston, and we are only 0.14 inches away from first place. We could get there through Thursday night with a tenth to a quarter of an inch here. The darker greens is a general quarter to a half inch with locally higher amounts. Before the wet weather returns, we have high pressure building in from Kentucky, keeping things clearer, more comfortable and quiet overnight, allowing for temperatures to be a little on the cooler side heading into Wednesday morning. Areas of localized fog could set up. Then we'll gradually see the mugginess increase from the northwest ahead of that next round of showers and storms in the evening, overnight, and into Thursday with the locally heavy downpours. FlySair forecast, it starts at home. We will see more comfortable and quiet conditions if you're heading towards Chicago. Otherwise, plan for that summer heat in full force if you're going towards Charlotte or Atlanta. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, as mentioned with the clear skies, comes some areas of fog setting up, looking north for low 60s overnight, and these areas will be the first to see the evening round of showers and storms, otherwise highs in the 80-degree range, mid-50s to low 60s going east. Martinsburg 88 on Wednesday, 87 toward Petersburg. We'll see mid-50s to low 60s from Elkins toward Ripley, then 81 there, 85 Ripley, Snowshoe 74. From Lewisburg toward Huntington, mid-50s to mid-60s overnight, then low to upper 80s on Wednesday. We'll have frequent rounds of showers and storms into the weekend, starting to dry out Sunday afternoon.
sitting at Statewide Sportsline on a Tuesday night. Thanks for joining us. We trying to hook up with Coach Tyler Phares of Bridgeport and get an update on their situation there. I'm sure he's got his hands full. They had a full day. They were supposed to start school today, postponed it for a day because of the flooding situation there around the high school, and the athletes and the coaches worked to kind of clean up some of the damage that was done. So we'll reach out again to Coach Tyler Phares of Bridgeport coming up. In the meantime, 304 Talk 304, that is the text line. Texter asks, I mentioned last night that I went to a couple of Cardinal games last week. Was I at the Joshua Baez 3-home run game? No, I was not. That was actually Saturday at Wrigley Field. So I went to a couple of games in St. Louis. Last Sunday was the game JJ won with the double over the head of the center fielder. Tie game in the 8th, pitched to him with first base open, got burned. JJ had a great game with 2 hits and was on base 4 times and made 2 great defensive plays. And they won that 7-4 over Colorado. Then I went Tuesday, great pitchers duel between Palante and Christopher Sanchez, the Phillies all-star. Scoreless game into the 7th, and the Cardinals got, a run in the 7th, a run in the 8th, and won that game 2-0. But that was an amazing performance by Baez on Saturday at Wrigley Field. 3 at-bats, first 3 at-bats, home runs. No player in Major League history had accomplished that.
Just what the Cardinals need, another one.
Yeah,
JJ, rookie
another
of the
good
year.
young player.
Jordan Walker, home run derby winner, and they got some guys. Your Cardinals do coming up.
Now, having said that, he doesn't have a hit since then on Saturday. So how humbling is the game of baseball? You do something that no one in the history of the game has ever done, 3 home runs in your first 3 at-bats, and then you go 0 for the next 4 games.
Big league pitchers have video also.
Yeah.
They're also making a couple bucks trying to get guys out.
Yeah, no doubt about that. 304 Talk 304 texter asked, do you think because the Giants had such a positive experience, will they make the Greenbrier a regular thing? Well, I don't know about the Giants, but it's pretty much a regular thing for an NFL team to travel to the Greenbrier either during preseason or a couple of times. Teams from the western portion of the U.S. have had back-to-back games in the Eastern time zone, so they've spent the time between those games at the Greenbrier. That's happened a couple of times.
Yeah, and there have been others that have done preseason there, and they haven't always come back. So wait and see ultimately what their decision is. But we've got the option, but it does sound like there are a lot of NFL teams that will be approached to see if somebody else wants to come back, if not the Giants.
The word is out. There's no doubt. The word is out. Among the teams that have utilized the facility now, the Giants joined the list of New Orleans, who was the first, the Houston Texans, the Cleveland Browns, the New England Patriots, the San Francisco 49ers, the Arizona Cardinals, the Las Vegas Raiders, and now the Giants. So that's a long list, and everyone seems to be happy and satisfied with their experience at the Greenbrier.
That is a long list. How many is that, 10? That's like a third of the league right there you just named. Yeah.
8 total. So, but yeah, and we had a reporter down there and spoke with Jim Harbaugh after each of the practices, and they seem to really, really have an outstanding experience there, both with the facilities and with the weather and with the staff down there.
It is interesting. The NFL seems, some do it some way, some don't, in terms of having a sort of the old school training camp where you get away from your own facility, as do the Steelers when they go to Latrobe. But others like to keep it within their facility where they've got all their own equipment. They don't have to move anything around. So I think it probably depends on what the coach and the GM want.
Yeah, those poor equipment guys. That's a lot of logistical work to move that training camp down to the Greenbrier.
Ooh. And it's the Packers, right? To borrow the bikes.
Yeah.
To get you ever been to Packers camp?
No, never went to camp. I know where it was. It's sort of like Latrobe for Pittsburgh. It's just 15, 20 miles outside of Green Bay, but it's in an old college, and the dorms are down a little hill. So it is a cool tradition of all the kids loaning their bikes to players and them riding it down the hill to the practice field.
Let's turn it into a good little tradition. Hopefully that continues.
Yeah.
Another team comes back there. It's kind of nice to have
No
a
doubt.
team here.
way back in the 90s, I went to Steelers camp a couple of times in Latrobe, but there always seemed to be a WVU connection up there. Al Void Mays, and there were some other guys that former Mountaineers that played with the Steelers. And one time, my memory's failing me, but there was one of the coordinators. I requested an interview with one of the coordinators at the time, and their media guy said, well, he may not be available, but Chuck Knoll's available if you want to talk to him for 5 hours. Okay. And this is no joke. Chuck, this is pre-cell phone, but the guy sent a handwritten message into the room, the dorm that Chuck Knoll was staying, and he said, meet Chuck Knoll at this time, whatever it was, 11:55. And I walked up to that dorm, and Chuck Knoll came out of the dorm, and we stood there and had about a 10-minute conversation. So that was cool.
Yeah, that definitely will help. Those NFL training camps are incredible. I've told the story before. When the Redskins were in Frostburg, I went over because they had some joint scrimmages with the Steelers, and that was a ball to see, those joint scrimmages.
304-TALK 304, that is the text line. 304-TALK 304. Texter says, I think the Giants would come back since the new owner of the Greenbrier is based in New York. Maybe there's a connection there. That's a good point.
Who knows?
But I'm sure the Greenbrier is not finished hosting NFL preseason camp. We'll take a break. We will return. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night on the CityNet statewide Sportsline. We're inside the Health Plan Studios. Since 1979, the Health Plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The Health Plan.
Answering a text or phone call while driving seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road, and you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the Health Plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon this Thursday and Friday, raising money to support the incredible care provided by WVU Medicine Golisano Children's. From life-saving treatments to the little comforts that help make a child's stay a little easier. Your donation helps keep those programs going. Now, you can text the word WVU Kids to 34984 for a link to donate via credit or debit, PayPal, Apple Pay, or Venmo. It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon supporting WVU Medicine Golisano Children's this Thursday and Friday.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Tuesday night, City Net Statewide Sportsline. Kyle, Greg, and Brad, joined by Tyler Phares, head coach at Bridgeport, who's been extremely busy today and working on things with his team to try to clean up a little bit. And, Coach, we really, really appreciate your time. We know you're dealing with some adversity, but thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys, no problem. Glad you had me on.
Well, let's start with exactly what happened and the extent of the damage and how much you and your guys got cleaned up today.
Yeah, the Simpson decided to rear its ugly head and decided to show up into our locker room for a little bit. But you know, we got great community. Sorry, I'm driving up 79 right now. We got more potholes. We got cell phone service coming up here. So if I cut out here for a second, you guys know what's going on.
Yeah,
but,
just be careful.
Yeah, we got it. But our community showed up great today. You know, we obviously had some mud and some stuff all throughout our weight room and our locker room. We had to displace, a little bit of our locker room our weight room turned into our locker room. Our locker room went upstairs for a bit. We're cleaning out mud. We're doing all that stuff. But practice will happen at Wayne Jamison Field tomorrow after school. So huge shout out to our community for allowing that to happen and making that happen, especially Bo Henderson, Joe Weber, and Scott the Taxpayer. Wouldn't even give us his last name, but, man, Scott the Taxpayer walks our field and does everything all the time. He came and, everybody showed up with pressure washers, leaf blowers, you name it. And we got the mud off the field, got it sanitized, got everything ready to roll, and we'll be practicing some old school football on our football field tomorrow at 3 p.m.
It looked like from the pictures the mud obviously was in the locker room, but it looked like more so on the field was kind of rainwater, or how much mud did actually get on the field?
We bubbled up a little bit on the field, but it wasn't, terrible. This morning when we showed up it's about 6 a.m., the field settled down greatly. We got sanitizer on it. We got the mud off of it pretty quickly. Bo Henderson was a huge, from City Construction, was a huge help with that. He came and got a lot of sanitizer on and got it good. But unfortunately, our locker room got it pretty hard. A lot of soot and different things there. So our head custodian, Frank Renzelli, and Joe Weber, who's the head custodian at Johnson Elementary, came over and did a great job, as well as everybody on our coaching staff of getting that moved out. And then 90 to 95% of our players showed up, got our locker room moved, got our weight room moved, did everything we could, and then Panhandle came in and they're doing their thing right now. So it was a huge effort. Most of our coaches and everybody's exhausted. We work for 10 hours, but we're not here to make excuses. We're here to, try to do whatever we can to get ready to go tomorrow. And we'll be, like I said, we'll be practicing tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Wayne Jamison, which is fantastic.
You would think that there would be some equipment damage in that locker room, helmets, pads, whatever, weight room as well. Nothing like that was damaged beyond repair?
No, we were there was a few things that were damaged, but Corey Yates is an assistant coach for us. He lives right by the field. The second that we realized that the water was rising, we went up last night and we put everything above the water level, or we thought would be the water level, and Grant and Allie Burton, who are track coaches, came down and did a great job, as well as Frank Renzelli, our head custodian. And we got the majority of our stuff above the water line, so it wouldn't get ruined. So huge kudos to them, and couldn't be happier with what we walked into today.
Certainly good news that you're going to be back up and operating so quickly. So let's shift it back onto the field. What have you seen from your guys so far before taking a little bit of a hiatus today? What do you like so far about your guys?
I like our effort of our kids. I mean, that's not a question. We work so hard in the off season that a lot of kids that, really don't want to work or do anything, they kind of get the idea before the season starts to not be around. A lot of things we got to work on. There's no doubt about that. We're green in a lot of areas. We've got to get better, every day. Today definitely didn't help because we weren't able to practice, but our kids are workers, man. They, like I said, it showed up today. We couldn't practice, but man, they were all there to try to move whatever they needed to. And, we got a long ways to go. We're excited about the journey to get there, but, tomorrow will be a big day for us.
No new install. Tyler, you're not going air raid or run and shoot or anything this year?
I don't know if y'all heard anything. We won a 7-on-7 championship this season on Mountaineer Field.
Right.
So, we can throw the football.
There you
go. No doubt about that.
I like it.
Well, give us a breakdown there. I mean, it starts with Gavin, right? Gavin Williams, almost 2,000 yards last year, so that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Gavin's he's a special player for sure, but we got a few kids there. One kid a lot of people forget about is Gabe Martin. Gabe was tearing it up until unfortunately he had a few injuries there in the midseason that knocked him out for the rest of the year. But Gabe is a special player for us. We trust him with the ball in his hands. Graham Vincent is a kid that can throw it, run it, do everything. He's worked so hard to get bigger, faster, stronger in the weight room, and it's showing off for him. Eli Knight, Aiden Gorby, Brody Duran, Sean Beltru. We got some skill players there for sure.
So certainly one of the benefits of high school football is you get to line up in the preseason against somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Gritorama, it's practice games. I know you guys did one of those this past weekend at North Marion. So how beneficial is that for a high school coach? What do you learn that maybe you wouldn't have learned just practicing against yourself?
I mean, honestly, what we learned the most was on Saturday. We've got a lot of veteran kids that are coming back. They still get nervous. Kids get nervous. We get nervous. We saw some uncommon mistakes from kids, and, we talked to them in film on Monday, and we're kind of like, what were you thinking? And some of it is, I was just, I kind of blacked out, Coach. To be honest with you, I don't know what in the hell I was thinking. I was kind of all over the place. So, you got to have kids that are experienced. So it doesn't matter if you've had a kid that's in your program for 3 to 4 years or whatever it is. If they don't have varsity experience, it's tough for them to really calm down, settle their heart rate, and go there. So anytime you can line up with a different color across from you, and you can get some different reps, even if they've done it right in practice thousands of times, you'll still see the common mistake. But it's good to take that, learn from it, go on film, and try to fix it.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time, and again, great work. I know you had a long list of folks there to thank, and we all know about the Bridgeport community and how tight you are and how effective everyone is and doesn't look like you're going to miss a beat one day of practice, and you're right back to work tomorrow despite this. So, again, thanks for your time. We know you've been very busy, but good luck to you, and I'm sure we'll talk again.
Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you for all you do for the state, and we definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it. Coach Tyler Phares of Bridgeport. See, now I avoided the rat poison with him because they play Buchanan Upshur in their opener, and game 2 is Martinsburg. Didn't say a word about that.
You didn't. Well, you put enough rat poison out in the first segment to cover it.
Not going to bring it up until the Buchanan Upshur game's in the books.
Is Gritorama ever used anywhere else other than this week of high school football? That's not a word you say ever, and then all of a sudden it comes out. You've said it 4 times. You've said it a lot.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean, you got to use it, right, when it's apparable.
It's like cranberry sauce. Only comes out on Thanksgiving. You never see it the rest of the time. Gritorama you get right now, and you'll never mention it again. You won't be talking about it in January.
That's true. 304 Talk 304. We've kind of reminiscing about training camp experiences. We got a text from an individual who was in Texas in the early 90s, San Antonio, 1993, the Houston Oilers. The old Houston Oilers.
That was my team.
Were having training camp there. So this individual, obviously a Mountaineer fan, got to go over and visit with Bo Orlando.
That's a good one.
93, that would have been Warren Moon out there throwing it around. That was right there.
Great uniforms, man.
They're the best.
Some of the best uniforms of all time.
So no geographic reason for that, but I grew up a Houston Oiler fan. And I get giddy every year when Tennessee breaks out those throwbacks. That's the best throwback going.
They do it about once a year, don't they?
Well, a couple times a year.
So the Houston Oilers and not the Bears, huh?
Houston Oilers.
Interesting.
No reason why. I think I like the helmet. I think as a little kid, liked the helmet.
Helmet was great. Colors were great. Uniforms were great. Earl Campbell was great. Dan Pastorini was great.
Billy White Shoes Johnson.
Yeah. It's
couldn't kick the door in against the Steelers, though.
Frank Reich got him, too. The Bills.
Yeah.
Right? Largest college
big comeback.
Frank Reich, largest pro comeback. Frank Reich got the Oilers.
We will continue to reminisce about NFL preseason camp experiences tomorrow. Actually, we'll hear from Coach Rich Rodriguez. He'll be visiting with the media during the early portion of the show, and we'll get those comments turned around to you as soon as we can on Wednesday night's Sportsline. Guys, great job, and we'll see you again.
All right.
That's the Sportsline for this Tuesday night. Thanks for listening and watching on Metro News.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.